This is like heroin. In 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. That meant the U.S. government, the U.S. Treasury, could now print money. They just did this. So things were fine. They fixed the economy. Inflation went through the roof. There's a dollar sign on it. Like this.
They're pumping money into the system.
We'll give the banks all the money they want so you won't crash. So 2008, that's when everybody was pumping this baby up more. So after 2008, they just kept pumping, and it's getting worse. So now we have the stock market all-time highs. Real estate, you can't afford to live. They say there's no inflation, but have you seen the price of food, real estate, student loans, medical? Now what's going to happen, the baby boomers, my generation, are going to start to retire. There's no money there. Social Security is broke, pensions broke, students are broke. They're screwing everybody with debt. Let me ask you a question. Do you have to be an economist to say what's going to happen? Going to happen. Got it.
Great day, another day, another opportunity. Super excited to be here with you, ladies and gentlemen. And, I hope everyone is doing well. There's a saying, don't do what the rich say, do what they do. And it's not rocket science behind it when it comes to getting information, ladies and gentlemen. But I just want to tell you this, great people, we are in a different time. And in this time, we need a blueprint. We need a blueprint that's going to allow us to weather the storm. And it's not about standing in the rain. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. And that's coming from my mentor, Mr. Tony Hubbard. So, ladies and gentlemen, blueprint to fighting inflation, because that quick short, that 55-second short was all about inflation. But hey, for every problem, there is a solution. So I have to read this disclaimer, and please note that the information provided in this presentation by Rich Education is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended to serve as financial advice. The content is designed to inform you, to empower yourself, and to make informed decisions about your personal finances, but it should not be considered a substitute for financial advice. We strongly encourage you to conduct your own research before making any financial decisions or implementing any financial strategies. A Rich Education assumes no responsibility for any financial losses as a result of use or reliance on the information provided in this presentation. By continuing to view this presentation, you acknowledge and agree that the content herein is for educational purposes only and that you are solely responsible for your own financial decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, are you working harder or just getting by? As we know, it's crunch time out here. I mean, there are people who are making, with all due respect, six figures, $1 million, and still don't have $400 to cover an emergency expense. So we see things are happening today, and it's not understanding what's going on with the economy. Feel it, see it, but not understanding that there is a solution for this and how you can really make a change. So the real question is, what is happening with what we think is money? Well, it's in the numbers, and I won't go through this whole chart here. But when we look back at 1913, a person who has a better outlook on the past has a greater outlook on the future. And this is when the Federal Reserve, that's actually here in my area of Washington, D.C., and it's not a reserve, but it's actually a central bank owned by central bankers. And when we learn these things, it allows us to shift out of what we've been taught, with all due respect, which is really nothing, because if money is important to you, don't you think that the school system should have taught us this? And we flash forward from 1913, flashing forward to 1971. And this was a key point in the history of America when the government took the U.S. dollar off the gold standard. And this was done by Tricky Dick Nixon, as Robert Kiyosaki states. And this is when they can create helicopter money, just printing, inevitably, and just this is what's causing a lot of the problems. And if we look at where we are today in 2021 with the Biden administration, we see, ladies and gentlemen, that they have 1,000x the printing machine. And really, the presidents, they don't really control anything. It's the central bankers, and they're just the individuals that's being told what to do, but not really giving the people what they need and what they want. So with all of this printing taking place, prices have increased. Okay, we're talking about 2000 to 2023, but why? 88% with food. All right, we see these things happening. 35% with the heating bill. I mean, just let's flash forward, and you see that the Medicare industry, which is really just wealth care, with all due respect, right? But we're talking about 111%. All right, car insurance has gone up 56%. But why? Well, once we understand inflation, remember, this is a blueprint to wealth protection, understanding inflation. So once we understand that in the past, well, like I said, and not too far in the past, we've had a situation in Venezuela where they had like 1,500% inflation. Their currency, called the bolivar, went to zero, and maybe $1 billion of their bolivars. I mean, if you have $1 billion today as an American and you're here with $1 billion, I mean, you're doing okay because you got knowledge to get to that level. But just imagine being a billionaire in Venezuela and it would only buy you one egg and a chicken. So we look back of understanding inflation in every fiat currency, which is the correct title for paper money, has gone to its intrinsic value, which is zero. So this is nothing new, but with the lack of financial literacy in our public school systems, I really want to say something else, but I want to keep it simple. I don't want anyone to think I'm ever putting them down, but this is what it's made us. It's made us ignorant to the knowledge of money. And by us not knowing this, it only teaches us, the school teaches us to come out and work for money, but not understand it. That's why the rich don't work for money. They work for assets. So ladies and gentlemen, in Germany, in Zimbabwe, okay, we see trillionaires were in Zimbabwe when we look at this, and that was worthless, okay? So exchange rate ended at 10 billion to 1 in Zimbabwe. So these things have happened before, and they're happening right now in our face. So it's happening, like I just stated, it's happening, okay? And we have the M1 security currency total that shows total amount of money held within a country. So we've taken that thing to the next level. Just within the last few months, we've printed billions of dollars, and I won't go too deep. You know what's happening, and they're funding certain things. Well, how are you getting this money? What is it? What is it? I mean, is it real? Or why are the people in at my job, in my area, in the country, why are they suffering? Why are things getting harder? And it's because of this, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to shift the mindset, okay? Because there's a reason why the rich get richer and the poor and middle class get hurt. It's because of the lack of financial education. So I want to shift from, okay, the employee mindset. Nothing wrong with that. It's a blessing to be able to survive, pay the bills, keep a roof over your head. Yes or yes, absolutely. But let's shift from the mindset of the employee because they don't have the financial education, okay? And I mean, some do, and some are working their job or have side projects and knowing how to preserve and fight inflation. But we're talking about the majority. Let's shift from the self-employed, okay? Owning a job, all right? They're from open to close, no trust, okay? And there are people that are working, so they have to be there to manage and micromanage so they really own a job. Nothing wrong with that. They're entrepreneurs. Congratulate you, all the success. But I'm just shifting from the mindset and the activities over to where 95% of, we talk about 95% of the people in the world aren't here, okay? But right here, this is where 95% of the wealth is held. Business owner. And it's really simple in the information age that we're living in today. It's super simple, right? They own systems. So bad example, but good system, McDonald's. Bad example, but good system, Burger King, Starbucks. These are systems where cash flow comes in. Employees build what they've been taught from the school system, right? To go out and work for money. So they build these people's dreams and businesses. So these are business owners, but it's super simple in today's time to be a business owner. Okay. All it takes is an internet connection and a system and the investor. Okay. What is the investor? These are the people that are in control of their life. Do you want to be in control of your life? Yes or yes? Absolutely. So if you want to be in control of your life, I mean, hey, put some tools in the chat for me. Let me know that you want to be in control of your life. So if you want to be in control of your life, we have to work on shifting the mindset over to a business owner and an investor, okay? They own investments, and this is where only 5% of the population is, ladies and gentlemen, in 2023, moving into a new year. And let me tell you this is the side, the BNI side, they understand the importance of sound money. And it's just a fancy name for physical gold and physical silver. That's it. Just that simple. And I'm not talking about the jewelry. I mean, you got some good jewelry out there, but I'm talking about real, and jewelry is real, but I'm talking about precious metals on the next level. Gold and silver are a secret the wealthy have used for ages. In fact, governments and financial institutions know this secret and are the largest holders of gold in the world today. So we just, once again, what are the rich doing? What, and don't say I'm not rich, you can do it. I'm letting you know right now you can do it before things hit the fan. All right, everything somewhat hitting the fan now, but you can do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we see countries, what are they doing? All right, they took this information out of the school system dating back to 1975 because the 1%, those who control the educational system, the information that goes into the brains of the youth, where they can mold and fashion and have them at 7 and 9 and 8 already knowing what they want to do. And what does that come out and work for the government, come out and work for the 1%? So once you have things that are downloaded into the brain at an early age and then later on in life, you sometimes don't take it. I can sit here and say that the rich are doing it all day long, but you think that you can't do what they do. You can do what they do. The good thing about the wealthy, they just dropped out of school early where the brainwashing and the conditioning stopped. So when we look at silver dating back to 1965, an ounce of silver was equivalent to $1. Yes. And then at that time, 25 ounces of silver would get you a Ford Mustang, right? That's powerful. But if we flash forward to today, all right, looking at 2023, those same 25 ounces of silver today will equal $67,000 and get you 2 base model Mustangs, even when we look at homes, all right? And we know that 626 ounces of gold in 2000 was equivalent to 169,000. But if we flash forward 2021, 2023, more, that same 626 ounces of gold will be equivalent to $1,220,000. So does it make sense to hold on to something that preserves your wealth? I don't buy gold. I just exchange for it. So you might have some questions. Why should I buy it? I don't even like to use the word buy. I like to use the word exchange. Okay. I'm only buying something. I may go buy some jewelry, but when I'm buying pure gold, pure silver, I just exchange. Well, I use the word buy. I just exchanged it for something of value, something of protection. And that's what this is all about. Who should I trust? Because there's some scammers out there, man. They might sell me some Zerbic zirconia or something. How much money does it take to get started? Do I need to be an expert to win? And here's what we found in the industry. Mixed advice on what to acquire. Don't know who to trust. Minimums, high minimums, tough learning curve, selling the inventory they don't have. So we wanted to make things simple because we believe it shouldn't be that hard. Because you deserve a real chance, right? Don't you deserve a chance to protect your retirement? Don't you deserve a chance to protect your 401k? Don't you deserve a chance to protect your money? Don't you deserve a chance to have freedom? So our goal is to help you have that chance where you can turn it into a legacy for generations to come. Because generational wealth, it's not the physical assets. It's the knowledge that you pass on that comes along with the assets. So we're just a community that's having fun, that's learning, that's growing, that's creating and saving assets and building cash flow, okay, in tough times. And we see that it is tough times. But when we make that change and decide to go all the way, and what's that change? The mental change, So what I want to do, I want to read this because I won't read all the slides, but I got to read this. We created this company because we generally want you to improve the lives of people around the world. We have watched way too many of our friends struggle as the economy fluctuates, employment issues rise, or unexpected changes come in life. Put a 5 in the chat if what I'm saying is making sense. Put a 5 in the chat if this is true. Put a 5 in the chat. Using the power of gold and silver, we believe we can provide a way for people to create financial stability, preserve their wealth, and live an exceptional life. And we started with this company because we believe in you. I know you can change. I'm seeing people change. We built a membership just for you. You're used to memberships. You have a Costco. You may have a Sam's Club membership. You may have a Netflix membership. You have several memberships. You know what I'm saying? I have a YouTube membership that comes out all the time. I have a Costco's membership, right? But we build a model just for you where you can win. And we aren't like the others. Physical gold and physical silver, rounds and coins, okay? You got a little bit of knowledge on why you need this, okay? You got a little bit. I know this is a lot, but I just want you to take what you can get and what makes sense, because what makes sense will protect you and what makes sense will make money. We only sell or let you exchange for the inventory that we have. No minimums, no maximums, period. Fractional gold and silver program so anyone can get started. Oh, well, Demi, yeah, you got $1. You got $5, $10. Well, you can put towards a nice size piece of physical gold and physical silver. Okay, absolutely. So there's no excuse. Fastest and easiest liquidation process on the market. You can liquidate these assets fast. And you can do it right on a platform that you will control on your smartphone or on your laptop. Hit the button and your assets are coming to you. So bullion, your non-collectible defensive strategy against inflation. See, the wealthy have blueprints. You see, the conversation is different with the wealthy when they're sitting down with advisors. The conversation is different with the poor middle class when they're sitting down with advisors. One is selling products that are tied to the Wall Street with no control. The other is sitting here preserving your wealth, sharing with you the percentage of what you should have in your portfolio that will protect you and allow you to own nothing, control everything. So this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. We're sharing with you how you can just build wealth and have this defensive side, gold and silver bars, silver and gold coins and rounds, and our fractional silver and gold technology called the Sound Money Wallet. I'm super excited about this because, yeah, you can get a piece of gold for $1. So I don't want to hear this. I know you didn't know. I mean, your life insurance is great because we need life insurance. And there's several ways, especially for our youth, and while we still have systems up and running, that you can leverage life insurance. But you still need protection. That protection is made of metal. Why do I say that? Well, we've seen what's happened to other fiat currencies in the past. Well, Demi, that's not going to happen to the dollar. Okay, I hope it doesn't, but tell me why it wouldn't. If they're doing the same thing on 1,000x what other countries and other entities have done. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've taken the guesswork out of this. Collectibles. I mean, you've seen commercials maybe, or you may have heard of some of how the wealthy get things that are rare. So we have those coins, low mentions, incredible design, historic, and great story behind it. Let's talk about these stories. Just imagine you holding on to a Spider-Man comic book dating back to 1962. Now, at that time, that Spider-Man comic book might have been about 12 cents, 25 cents. There it is, 12 cents. But today, we're going to flash forward. And in 1962, this graded 1962 Spider-Man comic book recently sold for $3.6 million, excuse me. And this was at Heritage Auction where you can look this up yourself. All right. We see the baseball cards. We see things like Star Wars. These are historical things. We see postal stamps that have significance and have meaning behind them and have a story behind them. But look at the numbers that they sold for. So you just imagine holding on to God's money, a coin that has a story behind it. You wanted the 5,000, 1,000, 10, 20, 100,000 people in the world, where there's billions of people in the world holding on to this precious metal that has significance, has a story behind it. You're the only one holding on to it. And this is what we offer. You're building true wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Leave a legacy behind, all right? Because as we know, we can't get out here alive. So we want to make sure that we're doing something of significance. We're getting the knowledge. We're changing the mindset, right? Because that's all it is. It's mindset. Remember, they didn't want you to know about wealth. They didn't want you to know about protection. You just imagine it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all of the calamities that we've had, from the dot-com crash in 2000, the real estate crash in 2008. And they happen every so often, every 10 years or more, so we're overdue. So this next one is going to be the biggest transfer of wealth. And you can put yourself and do just what wealthy families do. They use 5 main assets to protect and grow their wealth. What are they? Exclusive real estate. Exclusive. They want cash flow coming in. Okay? Fine artwork. I mentioned that. Look it up. This is preservation. This is protection. Rare coins. You have a smartphone. Google it right now as I'm talking. Put a 6 in here if I'm making sense. Put a 6 in the chat if I'm making sense, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's right there. I'm not speculating, but I'm showing you how the rich get richer and the poor middle class get hurt because they ignore information, because of the conditioning that we've been through mentally. I went to school and I'm still battling things to stay on that level of success, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy, but this is super simple. Gold, unusable, precious metals. So these are how the wealthy stay ahead of the game. This is all they do right here. This is it. So you're just adding more to your portfolio, and you're in a diversification process of understanding that if all my life is tied to a piece of paper that's lost 98% of its purchasing power. Okay? It's lost value and I'm working for it. I'm saving for it in my retirement. Tell me yes or yes. Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. I'm putting all of this into my retirement. Okay, I'm putting this in my life. I'm working. If I'm going to the store with it, I don't have anything to protect me when the dollar falls. It has to happen. Now I want you to win. So I want you to be on this side of the transfer of wealth. So through collectibles, you can start building your long-term wealth strategy. Simple blueprint. All right. We look at Tiffany art. Okay. We look at Julius Caesar. We look at the Montana butterfly. Not a lot of people holding on to this, ladies and gentlemen, globally. You get a chance to put yourself in the mix of having collectibles, exclusive access, ladies and gentlemen, to rare coins. Okay, I'm telling you, man, the artwork is right there on the precious metal. You get a bam, bam at the same time. And how we make it easy, we offer 3 great ways to build your legacy through collectibles. So what do I mean by that? You can have your monthly auto saver. So if you are already saving, or you're the person who's ready to start putting the discipline within yourself, we have an auto saver. See, wealthy people, see, you say deep inside you want to be wealthy. Deep inside you want to be rich. So don't do what they say, do what they do. So they like to automate things, make things simple for them. All right. I don't want to use the word easy, because this simple thing is easy, but we get in the way of our own success. So I'll select curated collectibles, rare coin drops. So we have these many beautiful options with this beautiful membership, ladies and gentlemen, that you can choose and take things to the next level. Learn more, be part of a great community, stack and sell. So what does that mean, Demi? Well, hey, Demi, how can I go back into fiat currency, cash, government's money, out of leaving God's money? I mean, that's what it is. God created gold and silver. It comes from the earth. You got to dig that out. You got to have some machinery. So if you want to go back into the fiat, which is nothing wrong with that, we have technology right on your laptop, right on your smartphone, where you can stack and sell and go right back into fiat. Simple, but hey, your local areas, you may have an opportunity to go to some exchanges, and they'll do the same thing too, but you can get the best bucks with our operation here. So we have the training where you can actually learn and grow more. Go right in your back office, take steps. They have this thing so positioned in such a great way where you can learn more, watch videos, pause where you stopped at, and finish and continue on. Look at my brother, Eddie Spears. I mean, hey, he said, my responsible is simple. His response is simple. And I appreciate your time looking at this. That's why I'm going fast. And I hope I'm making sense. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm making sense. Put a 1 in the chat if inflation is, you see inflation. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand companies are going away. Put a 1 in the chat if what I'm saying is making sense. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to be wealthy, you want to be rich. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to protect yourself. Okay. So he said, my grandparents or parents did not come from wealth. So I knew that for those I love and care about, that wealth had to come from me. Okay. So that's why he looks at the buyers and collector certification, definitely made it easy to navigate the waters. And we look at this gentleman here. I mean, Curtis Hartland. Okay. I think I met him when we had an event in Atlanta. And he says, I now have 50 states, which completes my set of state animal series, and I am just getting started. So grateful for this company and Stack and Sell. And I did meet Mr. Latin. I met him in Atlanta. Great gentleman, actually flies for the military. And this company has created a fantastic way to collect precious metals. I collect both MS-70s and bullion. You'll learn about MS-70s, okay? You'll learn about this great opportunity on a regular basis. I now have an incredible collection that has become one of my most prized and valued possessions. Grateful for the opportunity. So we are more than just a gold and silver company, all right? We're just more than that. And when we look at the opportunities that we have, I mean, we talked about the coin drop. We talked about the opportunity to get fractional gold and silver. We talked about stack and sell. But we have also savings programs with thousands of merchants across the world that you can save from by just going onto your website, downloading a coupon or printing it out and saving on anything that you can think of, okay? We also have an e-commerce opportunity. We have an IRA, individual retirement account, but it's backed by the real precious metals that you choose to be in your retirement account. And so much more, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Opportunity to travel for free. Opportunity to get so much where you can get metals at no cost, all right? So, but you got to put a little bit of work in to do that, all right? You can't just get something for nothing. So we talked about, ladies and gentlemen, at the beginning of this how many people, millions of people, don't have $400 of savings. Okay, and this is what gold and silver is about. It's about saving or creating additional income. All right. So we have people who right now is seeing the market. You may know someone who's lost their job. You may know someone in this situation. It may be you. So when we see that we don't have a few dollars to take care of an emergency, okay, and we understand a lot of people are using credit to get groceries, pay bills. It's really, to be honest with you, it's nothing wrong with doing that, but there's a strategy behind that, right? But we want to share with you how you can, hey, for the person who just wants to get medals like Demi, I'm done. I see what you're saying. While you were giving the presentation, I Googled what the wealthy are doing. I Googled those situations in Germany, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, where they're hyperinflated and their currencies were nothing, and the chaos that took place in those countries. You already had me over there, Demi. I'm ready to get the medals. I'll be in touch with you. Great. Looking forward to talking to you. But for the person who wants to do that and wants to create an additional income, and we can show you, okay, we can show you how you can share this. Well, just in my opinion, one of the best home-based business opportunities, because see, the IRS wants you to have a home-based business. Why? Because you're allowed to now participate on that side I talked about, the side that doesn't pay taxes also, the B and the I side, in that cash flow quadrant of Robert Kiyosaki, where we talked about transitioning mentally from employee, small business over to big business and investor. So if you want to minimize your taxes while you work your job, you have to put yourself on a different side of that quadrant, and that's the BNI side, because now you have a system in place. Now you'll be able to create residual income. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your taxes, your physical gold and silver savings become a tax write-off. So let's talk about that, because some may be who are familiar with the networking industry, biggest industry. Oh, Demi, I'm not network. I'm not talking to nobody. Well, I don't want you to talk to nobody. I want to show you how to become a professional in this if you're the person who wants to create some additional income. But guess who's an affiliate? Guess who's in the networking space? Guess who has affiliate programs and share other people's products? Walmart. They didn't make those products in that store. My mentor taught me this, Brother Coach Khan. Target. They didn't make those products in that store. Any big chain that you see selling other products that don't have their name on it. You may have Safeway that has select Safeway product, but for the majority, they don't make that. So they are networkers. They are affiliates, and you do what? And I do what? We put towards their business. So with this unique uni level, which means two, you can participate by doing what? Paying yourself first in physical gold and silver, setting yourself up to win, to fight inflation and build wealth and assets. And also, we show you how to professionally, in a simple way, without technology, without application in the Play Store and in the Apple Store, how to share with two people. Now, it's more to it when it comes to building teams, but two people is all you need. Now, put a 1 in the chat, and $500, which puts you in a position to do that, is a real check. Would you be happy with an extra $500 a month, $500 bi-weekly, $500 a week? This is the opportunity that you have. All right. And I won't go over too much of the compensation plan, but it's simple. OK, well, we don't sponsor someone here and we get a commission. No, you have to be a team player or want to learn to become a team player. Right. Because I'm just going to tell you to hike the ball and I'm going to throw it to you because it's super simple. But if $500 is a real check, put a 1 in the check. If $1,000 is a real check. OK, as we hit different levels of associate, these are just titles. You got to put a little work in. And what's the work? Paying yourself in physical gold and silver and showing other people how they can do the same thing and take advantage of all of the beautiful advantages and beautiful benefits that we have with our membership. So retail sales, I don't like to say sales, but they say that with the company. I like to say exchanges because you're just exchanging dollars for gold or silver. Monthly auto saver program. This is how we earn points because we have a point system within our compensation plan. And this point system is amazing. It shows the true person of integrity. All right. Coin drops in sales. You get a text message or an email that's telling you this rare, beautiful coin has dropped and you have the opportunity of getting it. Other purchases. OK, there are other purchases within your platform that when transactions are being dealt within your network, within your team, points are accumulating and you have the opportunity to get paid, memberships and renewals. So this is how we earn points. And these points, ladies and gentlemen, pay out. So it's all about ranking up. It's all about having the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, within this system, within this platform. I like to call it a platform that's based on freedom, because gold is freedom. Okay, we see the stuff that's happening to the banks, right? Holding on to your precious metals, that's freedom, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Creating residual income, that's freedom. All right. This is how the wealthy operate, because you said you wanted to be rich and wealthy. Well, you can't do that, with all due respect, being an employee only. You have to have a side project. But why not have a side project that's solving a problem? People don't understand inflation. People didn't know that it's so simple to build wealth. So you can rank up, ladies and gentlemen, and have the opportunity weekly to earn up to potential $500 a week to $12,000 a week. And we have our different positions, ladies and gentlemen, for that person who wants to work towards getting there. Look, I'd rather have a garage full of gold and silver instead of a garage, with all due respect, full of products that I've lost interest in or have an expiration date on it. So put a 6 in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if that makes sense. Would you rather have a garage full of gold and silver, a safe full of gold and silver, or a cabinet full of things? Nothing wrong with these things, because I'm a supporter of businesses, but I'm sharing with you the relevance of the time that we're living in. We didn't know that gold and silver is your hedge against inflation. You didn't know that gold and silver are assets, and this is how the wealthy, now you know. So which one would you rather have? Put a 6 in the chat. If you would rather have assets instead of something that could spoil and I may lose interest in. Because if you lose interest in sharing this with somebody, you still winning. It's a win-win situation, because you're stacking assets, you're building wealth, you're protecting yourself and your family, and you're getting a true legacy because you're gaining the knowledge and wisdom on how to pass it on to the next level. So you have opportunities here, as you see, from associate, copper, bronze, silver, gold, executive gold, presidential gold, by just sharing this with 2 people and starting to help your team, where you put yourself in position to make $500 a week up to $12,000 a week, ladies and gentlemen. So get all the tools you need, because we got a lot with our membership. Isn't that amazing? All these great things you have with this membership and more I didn't mention. I mean, because people love to travel. People love community. And we got all of this here on top of the great leadership. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we see we have 3 ways that you can come in, my recommendation is getting VIP access or legacy access, legacy VIP access. Why do I say that? Because those 2 open up the doors for every single thing that I've talked about. Okay, there's a limitation on the basic assets, but it's there. And we'll talk about that. If you're interested in that, feel free to text me at 202-770-1668. It'll be in the description below, or inbox me wherever you're seeing this at. DM me and we'll talk about that. Okay, you may have some questions. You may want to learn more. I know you couldn't get all this just within under 40 minutes. But the legacy VIP package access, this eliminates the yearly, eliminates it. You don't have to worry about having it. It's not a worry, but you don't have to get the yearly membership anymore. One-time fee, that's it. The VIP access, ladies and gentlemen, gives you all the bugs and whistles that the legacy has, minus the opportunity to pay yearly. Okay, so you won't have to do that with VIP, with legacy, VIP access. You just pay one time, not yearly. All right, but VIP access gives you all of the bugs and whistles. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You're going to even have some assets come with those, and that's just amazing to have your first, because a lot of people haven't touched real money. They haven't. Cash has been the thing, but on your cash it says Federal Reserve note, and what is a note? It's debt. And now with all of the other things that's coming along with this new banking rules, banks have been having glitches and other things coming into play I won't go into. You need to learn to be your own banker and protect your wealth. Put a 4 in the chat if that makes sense. I mean, if you think that you should be protected and not be subjected to the things that's going on with these banks, I mean, put a 4 in the chat if you agree. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's always 3 types of people who see this information. It's the person say, I want to become a member. That's cool. Let's get you started. Let's get you setting up. All right. Let's get you set up. It's simple. Let's get you registered so you can have your account, do some training on your account, set up your autosaver so your wealth is coming to you, and show you how you can start going to get non-collectibles and start building your wealth 1 gram at a time, 1 ounce of silver at a time, or as much as you want at a time. You may say, I'm interested in some part-time income. I got some debt I want to chop out. I got the student loans. I want to get up on this mortgage. So, I'm interested in that, Demi. And you talked about it, and I have some friends who We've talked about some things and income. I want to be part of the 10% of the world doing over 6 figures within a few weeks. I would love to work my way up to 12,000 a week. I know it's going to take a lot of mental, but it's simple, Demi. You told me I'm not selling anything. You told me that all I have to share with the person is how to get a membership, and then I'm just saving gold and silver, and we get points as we do that. I don't have to convince anyone about that. I just share simple video and then invite people to the Zooms while the leaders do the presentation. I'm down with that. So if that's you, ladies and gentlemen, once again, text, all right? Text gold and silver. I didn't say that, to 202-770-1668. Once again, text for any of these, gold and silver, to 202-770-1668. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, it's all about us understanding that everything around us has changed, but most people haven't changed. And we can't stay, we can do what we want, but it's not good to stay complacent in an economy like this and not learn. One way that the rich get rich and the poor middle class get hurt. One thing about the rich and the wealthy, ladies and gentlemen, they constantly are learning. When most of us are still operating, with all due respect, off obsolete information. Go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, invest for the long term, and a well-diversified portfolio, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, all tied to the dollar. And it just shows you what's happening to the dollar. You feel what's happening to the dollar. You see what's happening to the dollar. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have to change only if you want to thrive in the new economy. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I was able to plant a seed. I hope I was able to at least share some information so I can say I led you to the water. But if you're not thirsty for financial literacy, if you're not thirsty to build wealth, protect your wealth, fight inflation, and create cash flow, I can't make you drink it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, always stay safe, take heed, and remember, your life is based off the information that you received and the information that you have rejected. Thank you.